live, so turn it down. I can hear that. Hey everybody, get my apron on here. I'll give it just a minute or so to see, to give time for everybody to get on. It's actually not even 10 and my clock's going to chime in a minute. So y'all just bear with me. I'm getting the last minute things done here. Got my mixer and got everything out and just about ready to go. So we'll give it just a couple more minutes. Y'all just hang on with me. The sun's shining today and it's kind of humid and it's not chilly, it's kind of warm. So looks like we're going to have another cold front come through, at least a little one, and I sure am praying that it doesn't do any big damage to areas like it did with that last one that came through. So can everybody hear me okay? Okay, I hope y'all can. Like Pinkie Paw years ago, y'all know we live right beside of them, and years ago I got a little recorder. It was the first one I'd ever had. I was a teenager, probably 17, 18 years old, and I was recording Pinkie Paw's voice, and we were recording in there, and Pinkie Paw was waiting for the recorder to talk back to him, and it was so funny. I just wished and wished and wished that I had that, still had that little tape recorder. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was so funny. So I guess I was expecting to hear back from y'all. Not really, but I just want to make sure everybody can hear. So welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to Pinkie Paw's Sisters in the Kitchen. I'm Linda, and I'm happy that y'all have joined us. My sister Mary is at home again today. Every time this time of year, she has weeks of work that she does for her church and then getting ready for Christmas. And she's just kind of, she's overworked herself. So we just felt like it would be best for her to stay home and rest today. And I may talk her into resting again tomorrow. I don't know. She's very, she doesn't like staying at home, but she needed to. She's not feeling well. So y'all bear with me. It's just going to be me today. So I got Carla on the other end monitoring. Hopefully we won't have a bunch of scammers and a bunch of people that's trying to make friends with people that they don't got no business making friends with. They're our viewers. So anyway, hopefully we won't have to deal with a lot of that. And I hear my clock chiming, so I do want to tell y'all that for all of our members, these recipes are not on the website that I'm doing today, but we will get them posted. I'll get them to little Linda, and she'll get them posted. Y'all know that I make different things than Mary makes, and we laugh sometimes. I tell her sometimes they probably don't think I even know how to cook because almost everything I do is baking, but I do know how to cook. So anyway, I'm doing two things today, and the first thing that I'm doing is what is that little red mark there? I don't know what that is. Okay, I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, first thing that I'm going to do is a vanilla sugar loaf. This is a real a recipe that I've had for many years, and I'm not going to bake it in a loaf pan. It really is supposed to be baked in a 9x5x3 loaf pan, but I'm not doing that because it takes over an hour to make a loaf cake, and so I'm going to bake it in the little mini butt pans here. So that's what I'm going to bake it in, and hopefully it won't take very long to do. And we're going to get this started first, and then I've got the next thing I'm going to do, and I've already got my chicken done, is I'm going to make a skinny chicken noodle soup. And that's what we're going to have to eat today. So we love different kinds of noodles, and I'll talk about that more when I get over to the stove, and I'll show you what I'm using today. But places like TJ Maxx and Tuesday Morning, stores like that, they have a food section, and I love to see what they have in it every time I go, because you never know what they're going to have, and most of the time you go back to get something that's gone, because they don't, it's not a regular stock that they get in their discount stores, so they get stuff in, and then they might not have it in again, or they might not ever have it in. So I'll show y'all about that later. But for right now, we're going to get started making this vanilla sugar loaf. And of course, y'all know I miss Mary. And oh, and let me say this before I get started. Yesterday, after I did the cherry nut cake, I don't know how many people that I had calling me, texting me, messaging me, commenting about the recipes. To get our recipes, you go to our website. We have a very nice website that we're very proud of. We have it professionally designed. It's www.pinkymallskitchen.com. And if you want to become a member, there's a small fee of $5.99 a month plus whatever tax is in your area to get our recipes. And some of you have asked, what do you get for the $5.99 a month? We have about 12 recipes on a month. We leave them on for probably at least 3 months. They are printable. In fact, I want to give a shout out to little Linda, because she did get the recipe. She has a printable tab or printable icon on every single recipe that you can print. For those of you who have been wondering how you could do that, she's got that done. So you can print our recipes for future use. We also have some other videos of Mary and I and some of her kids where we're out and about doing different things, little videos. And there's a little, from time to time we'll put something on there. Mary or I or both of us will write something on there. So that's what the $5.99 a month is for. We know that everybody can't join or won't join. We understand that. We went for a little over probably a little over a year, where we posted recipes, and you'll still find those with some of our old videos. And not to sound like we're complaining, because we are very humbled that so many of you love us and support us and watch us and share us, but it was impossible to keep up with the demands of people wanting the recipes. Even when we had them posted, it never failed that we would get just hundreds of requests, sometimes a day, for us to give a recipe. And what did Mary and I do? We're just still little old women from East Texas. We were spending 12 and 14 hours a day sending recipes to people that were already posted. And we just realized that we could not do that. It was just, we were like, what are we doing? We can't do this. We have too much other stuff to do. So anyway, we had this website designed with that in mind, that if you want the recipes, and that's why we don't give them out when we're cooking, because we have some paid members who pay to get these recipes. So if you don't get a response from us, please do not think we're being mean. There's only 24 hours in a day, and we don't have time to do it. And that's why we designed the website, or had it designed, so we would have a place for people that wanted our recipes to go get them. Our cookbook, Recipes from the Old Home Place 2. We only have that cookbook available. It was done several years ago, so we didn't just create this cookbook. We've had it for a while. A lot of the recipes that we do now are not in the cookbook. Some of them are. So we have tried our best to let people know that if they're buying a cookbook, that not all the recipes that we have done this last year are going to be in there. So keep that in mind also. We are, we try to be upfront. We try to be very transparent, and we work very hard for what we do. So we're not, we're certainly not asking for something for nothing. We work very hard, and that's not even counting, what the cost that's involved in what we do. So enough for that. Before this show is over, before I quit the program today or close the program today, I'll try to mention that again. So make sure that that you, hopefully y'all can watch it all the way through. I'm going to try to keep it to an hour today, but if I don't shut up talking and get started, I will be over an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and get my ingredients mixed up. Now, one thing that's different about this recipe is this is vanilla infused. It has vanilla infused sugar. And I'm using one of our little containers one of our sweet friends sent us. So, oh, that smells so good. This is vanilla that I have got, and I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll try to get it to where you can see it. If you can see the little specks of vanilla in there, this has been, when you open that container, it just, the aroma was just everywhere. And you infuse the sugar for 24 hours, and the recipe calls for a vanilla bean. Vanilla beans are extremely hard to find around here. They're very expensive, and the ones that I have bought in the past were so dried up that you couldn't even use them. So what I did, and it's much cheaper and it's very good stuff, is I use vanilla bean paste. Where do you get vanilla bean paste? Where do I shop at? I got it at TJ Maxx is where I got it. Little containers of it. So I've got some butter in here, and y'all bear with me with the noise. So I'm going to go ahead and cream my butter. And I had to charge my battery this morning. I have 2 batteries that go with this mixer, but I forgot to charge it yesterday, so I charged it real quick this morning. And then I'm going to just put this in here just a little bit at a time. And I hope I don't drop this. That smells so good. I'm really anxious to try this. It's been a long time since I made this recipe. Makes a lot of noise when I'm cooking. It's like my mama. Just put the rest of it in here. I'm gonna stop in a minute and get that spoon cleaned off if it's that rough. You talk about something smelling good. I want you to know that vanilla infused sugar, it smells wonderful. And you may have done this before. If you do it, you want to put it in a, well, I don't know where my spatulas are. I guess let me grab one real quick. You want to make sure that you have it in an airtight bag, or either a container with a tight lid on it. So I don't want to lose any of that, so I'm going to clean my spoon off. And I'm going to put my eggs in one at a time. And then I've got my dry ingredients over here. And I'm using cake flour again. I actually had to go to Brookshire's this morning and get it, because and I bought 2 boxes because the last time I ran out, and then yesterday I ran out, so I just bought 2 boxes at one time. I am going to use a little bit of sour cream. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there now. I don't even measure this. I just take a spoonful out of the carton, and it just, what sour cream does is it just makes the cake a little more moist. So, got the mixer again, so. I broke my eggs ahead of time, so I got these ready. And I always buy extra large eggs because large eggs are not big, and I like to have a good egg, so I buy extra large when I bake. That's what I was cooking with. You want to make sure you always break down the size of your bowl. So everything gets incorporated real good. Okay, so now I got my cake flour. I did sift it, baking powder, and salt. And I'm going to put that in just a little bit at a time. Mama was a really good cook. We talk about Mom and our aunts all the time. But Mama could get in the kitchen and have something whipped up. I mean, a big meal in no time. She didn't fool around. She got in the kitchen and she got with it. Make sure, I think I said this earlier, but you want to make sure that your butter is soft. You don't want to put hard butter in to start mixing up. And you can soften it in the microwave, but you have to be very careful because you don't want melted butter. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of my flour in there. Years ago when we lived in Albuquerque, I baked all my life, and I took some goodies Christmas. I took some sandies to where I worked, and they really liked them. And one of the girls asked me for the recipe, and I gave her the recipe. And the next day when I came to work, she was like, "I don't ever want to try one of your recipes again." She said, "I made those sandies last night," and she said, "I never could get them right." And I started asking her questions, you know, about this and about that. And I said, "Do you use soft butter?" And she said, "Yeah." She said, "I even melted it." And she said, "I added twice as much flour as you said, and they never did come out like cookies." And I said, "Soft butter, it doesn't mean melted." And I always think about that sometimes when, you know, young people or sometimes cooks that aren't used to baking, they just might not understand that when it says soft, that's what it means. It's soft, not melted. So make sure that you look at the recipe. I have a habit of checking off ingredients when I'm cooking, especially when I'm baking, to make sure I don't leave anything out. And when I'm typing a recipe, I will even count the ingredients to make sure that I haven't left anything out. It's just something that I do and I've always done. So there's my batter. I got my oven. You're supposed to cook the loaf pan at 325, but since these are smaller cakes, I'm going to cook it on 340. You normally cook a cake, most cakes you cook it at 350, but I'm going to cook this on 340, and I'm going to check my oven to make sure that it's preheated. So I think it is. I think I heard the buzzer go off a minute ago. But so what I do, another little tip that I do, don't ever throw your butter wrappers away when you need to have a scoop or something. So this is my big scoop. This is from Sam's. It's not not one that we normally use. And so I use a butter wrapper to kind of coat my scoop so it doesn't stick. So, and then I throw them away. So that's what I do with my butter wrappers. And I'm going to do a scoop and see if I need to do more than one scoop. And you have to be careful because these are little butt pans, so you can't just scoop it in there like you could a muffin pan. And I actually could have cooked these in a muffin pan. They probably would have come out better, or it would have been easier to do. At least I'll say that. In fact, I may have to get another pan anyway. This may be too much batter for this little pan. But I love these little mini butt pans. I think they're so cute. I don't know, a spoon might have worked better than this scoop. I may just try that. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing here. And I definitely do think that it's going to take more than this pan to. This is, again, this is a thick batter. It's not a thin batter. I'll have to get a muffin pan out and get it ready. Normally a loaf pan recipe, I don't even cook in loaf pans a lot because I would rather do layer cakes or the individual ones. Yeah, I don't like the way this is doing. It's doing fine. It's just it's a little bit tedious here, but that's okay. We're gonna get it. I want it to be a good full cake, so I'm putting quite a bit in it. Now, Mary and I learned a lot of our baking skills by just pure trial and error, which anybody will do at any job that you undertake. You know, everything you do doesn't always turn out right the first time. And don't get discouraged because everybody has to learn. And even seasoned bakers like myself make mistakes. And you watch the cooking shows. We watch the holiday cooking shows, and professionals that have been trained professionally, which I haven't. They'll make mistakes too. So anybody can make a mistake, and that's okay. The important thing is just make sure that you don't let that experience define you. And if you're really interested in baking and you really want to bake and cook, well, just try something else. Something didn't work, try something else. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit more in this one. And then I'm going to get a muffin pan. It's not going to hold 6 more, but here they are here. Let's see if I could just kind of wipe this up just a pinch. And I'm going to set the timer probably on about 20 minutes. I don't want them to over bake. So I'm going to set it on about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to grab a pan underneath here, a muffin pan, to put the rest of my batter in. So this is our jumbo muffin pan, and y'all know I don't normally use pans to spray stuff with, but I'm going to right now because I don't want to have to. I want this to cook about the same time as the other one is cooking. So I don't think this is going to hold but 2, and I shouldn't have. Let me put it on this end and I'll clean that up so it kind of balances it out. sure I get everything out of this bowl. That's something Ma Lee taught us years ago. And I do not like wasting stuff. I don't like wasting anything. I'm going to improvise here. I'm just going to grab this to break this off with and kind of smooth that out. Make it kind of even. So if this would make, this recipe would make about 8 individual little cakes, or the 9 by 5 by 3 loaf pan is what it makes. And if you wanted more than that, I think this recipe could be doubled easily. Some recipes can't, and I wouldn't even try to double some recipes, but you could definitely double this one. So, get that cleaned out. Now, you could have used like a cupcake little paper holder instead of using a pan, but this is just the first thing I grabbed, so this is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to stick it in my oven. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mix up. This is going to have a glaze on it. These are when they come out of the oven. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that up, and then we'll move over there to the skinny chicken noodle soup. So with this glaze, all it is just powdered sugar, milk, and vanilla. And I'm using my little bowl here, and I've got some milk out. And I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla in here. This is a tablespoon. I'm not going to use a tablespoon, but I'm going to use this. Oh, that's got powder. That's got baking powder in it. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm using the clear because I don't want this to have like a brownish tint to it. And so I'm just using this. And I used a little bit more milk, so I'm going to add some more powdered sugar to this. So again, you get a little bit too much, you can always add more. If it's too thin, you can add more. If it's too thick, we'll add more liquid. Now keep in mind that this is a glaze, so it is going to be very thin. It's not meant to be an icing. It's meant to be a glaze. So I do this with pineapple juice on my pineapple pound cake cupcakes, and that's basically what this is, except it's got vanilla. And so you can see that it's just a glaze, and that's powdered sugar, vanilla, and I use clear, and milk. Whoops, a lot of noise. Okay, so let me get this put up, and then we're going to move the camera over to the stove and see if we can, I can show y'all what I'm making over there. So give me just a minute here. So, we have contacted the Christmas wish list winner, and we're waiting to hear back from them. And so far, we haven't heard back from them. So hopefully, we'll hear back from them today. And sorry about that. I know I was away from the camera a little bit. Okay, so I've got in this pot, I cooked my chicken. I cooked 3 chicken breasts. Now this is not 3 chicken breasts. This is probably about 2. They were nice sized chicken breasts, and I cooked them in water, salt and pepper, and some low sodium chicken broth. And that's all we buy is the low sodium, which Mike is really big on something not being too salty. and I like salt, so I usually have a little bit more in mine than he does. But, and I'm going to use, I also put a little bit of celery seed in it for seasoning. And in my pot here, I've got carrots. I just chopped up one carrot. I don't know if y'all can even see it or not. Let's see if I can get it over here. I've got a little bit of carrot in there for flavor. It's not for to add vegetables. I just strictly wanted it for flavor. So I'm going to turn my burner up and get that boiling. And it won't take a minute because it's already hot, or hopefully it's not going to take time like it did yesterday. And because I preheated my boiler today. Now these are the skinny noodles that I told y'all about. These are really, really thin and skinny. It only takes 4 minutes to cook them. We use a lot of different kinds of noodles. We get one at Big Lots. It's kind of a wide noodle that we like, and it's got a lot of texture to it. These are not. These are going to be, like I said, they cook in 4 minutes. So once I get this boiling, I'm going to add about, this is 17.6 ounces. I'm going to add about 1/3 of this package to the boiling broth. And I don't want to put my cream of chicken in yet because anything that's got milk in it will boil over. And I didn't get my boil over lid over here or thing to go on top of it. So I'm just going to watch it here. Once this gets boiling, I'm going to add these, and then after 4 minutes and they're cooked, I'm going to whisk in the cream of chicken, and then I'm going to add the chicken and just kind of let it simmer for a few minutes. It will already be done. I'm just going to kind of let it simmer. So let's see here. And this is, I think this is a German egg noodle. Some of you with a German background may know more about this than I do. I just, when I'm seeing something, I look at something, and if it looks good, I get it. And they only had one, or I probably would have bought more than one. But I really liked the way this looked, so I thought it would be something that Mike would like. Okay, so my broth is boiling, and I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to add about 1/3 of this. I'm not going to put the lid on it. I'm going to let it boil. Maybe just a little bit more here. I don't know. I may have added more than 1/3 of the package. They're pretty delicate, so I'm just going to stir these in here. I'm going to see how that works. It doesn't look like very much to me. I may go ahead and add close to half the package. Okay, that should be enough. Now the leftover chicken that I had this morning, I had it in the bag cooling. I'm going to use this to make chicken salad sandwiches for lunch one day. And a lot of times if you're cooking something like if you got your oven on anyway and you need to bake some potatoes or sweet potatoes, throw them in the bottom and let them cook, and that way you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And I didn't mean for any intention against birds, but that's just an old saying they say in East Texas. But you're getting 2 things done at one time and making good use of your oven. So I'm going to give this a stir, and then I think I'm going to put the lid back on it, bring it back to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, then I'm going to set a timer for 4 minutes. So this is a very, very quick meal, and you could eat this for lunch or you could eat it for supper, and it really would depend on how hungry you are. The older we get, We tend not to eat as much as we did when we were younger. We don't eat as much, believe it or not. You wouldn't know that by looking at us, but we don't like to eat late. We always eat our main meal probably most of the time no later than 5 o'clock. Sometimes we eat at 4. It just depends when either Mike or I get in the kitchen to cook. But we try to eat 2 meals a day. If we don't eat breakfast, we'll eat an early lunch, and then we'll eat earlier in the afternoon. If we eat breakfast, we'll eat a late breakfast, and then lunch or supper, what we call. I was making sure that wasn't going to boil over. I don't want my stove to get messed up. It's boiling, so I'm going to take that lid off. You have to clean your stove probably every week to take the top off and clean it, but I just cleaned it the other day, and I put new little burner things down, and I don't want to do that again today. I don't have time, so I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't boil something over. When we were kids, especially, well, I guess even before Daddy quit work, but especially after he quit work or was not able to work. He didn't quit, he wasn't able to work due to his illness. Well, we would get out of school about, I don't know, 3:15, 3:05. I think the bell rang at 3:05. So we ate. Mama had supper ready when we got home. We ate early every day. And then before the night was over, we would fix something like, we might fry a big skillet of potatoes. We might just pop a big thing of popcorn, or we might do grilled cheese or something. We'd do something in the evening. Y'all probably heard Mary tell about us making grilled cheese at night, especially when our Uncle Jesse was living with us, Mama's youngest brother, and he was just 5 years older than Charles, so he was almost like one of us, and he lived with us while he went to SFA. So he would come in late sometimes at night, and Mary would always fix the grilled cheese or cheese toast or something for him because he'd be hungry. And this was, oh my goodness, this had to be in, I guess, probably 58, probably in the late 50s, I would think. Maybe, might have been 59, 58 or 59, but it was somewhere around between 58 and 60. And we always look forward to it because he was a singer, and he was a real popular, and he sang rock and roll, and he was a very good singer. Of course, later years, when he was a kid, he sang in a band, but later years, he sang gospel, him and his wife and his family. Some of y'all that watched our family reunion tapes, and his wife and kids sang, they are excellent singers. And I always think about the top singers, my favorite top singers of all time. And of course, Elvis Presley was one, Dottie Rambo was one, and my Uncle Jesse was always in that top 5 because he had a very unique voice. It was distinctive. Great singers to me have a unique voice, and Elvis did, Dottie Rambo did, and some of the other good singers that we know and love. George Jones, our youngest brother Edward, he loves George Jones, and he could sound just like him if he really wants to. Edward's a good singer too. Of course, we all used to sing when we were young, and we don't sing much anymore because you lose your you lose your ability. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because you're old. You can't get as much volume out as you did when you were young. But anyway, we still like to try when we are together. We enjoy trying. So my buzzer went off, and this is cooked for 4 minutes. The noodles have. So now I'm going to put my cream of chicken in. I use so many spatulas when I cook. Honestly, I think I could have about a half a dozen and use every one of them. This is my favorite. This is our classic, and it's my favorite. But I'm going to very gently whisk this in because I don't want to tear my noodles up. But I didn't want to put this in earlier because I normally would rinse out this can, and I still may do it. But I'm going to whisk this in. You don't want it to be like that. That's a clump. So I'm going to whisk it in real good. Real gentle, I should say. So it'll all be not, you're just not getting a spoonful of chicken noodle soup. Or not chicken noodle, cream of chicken. I'll get it right in a minute. We use a lot of cream of chicken. I like the creaminess that it adds. I haven't tasted this for seasonings, but I know right offhand, I know it's going to be some black pepper. Because it's not, I'm going to let that boil just a second. But Mama cooked big meals. She cooked, she'd cook like pork steak, she'd cook vegetables. We never, especially in the summertime, we had all the fresh vegetables we could eat. And you know, for those people that are making angry faces and don't like what I'm doing, y'all don't have to watch me. Y'all don't have to watch us. It's not going to bother me. I'm not, you know, I know I can't please everybody. And I'll tell you one thing, it's a lot easier to tell somebody how to do something than it is to actually do it. So for those of you who cook and are in the kitchen, y'all know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we do read these comments. We don't always get to read them all, but we do try to read, and we don't always get to respond to all of them, but we do try to respond to some, and certainly we're not failing to respond because we don't appreciate it. It's just the time factor. So y'all please bear with us. If you say something important and you want to answer, just send us a direct message or text us, because we'll do our best to answer if you'll do that. Okay, let me give this a little taste and see what I think it's going to need in it. It's going to be hot. It tastes really good. I don't think it needs any salt, and I actually see pepper in it. I'm not going to add any salt to it. I am going to go ahead and put my chicken in it, and I'm going to turn the burner off because it doesn't need to keep cooking. The noodles are already done. The chicken's done. So I'm putting my chicken in here, and I'm just going to kind of stir this around. And more than likely, I'll probably will add some more broth to this because those noodles are soaking up this broth. Well, I just have to see black pepper, so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of pepper on the top to let y'all see how beautiful it is. That smells so good. So I'm going to set it off of the burner because I don't want it to keep cooking. And I'm going to put it back there. I'll leave my can out because I still may want to add some more broth to that. And I got just a few seconds before my buzzer goes off for that first pan of my little cakes. And I'm going to just kind of check it and see what it looks like and see if I think that they're getting close to being done. There. So we have our Christmas, family Christmas, it's going to be on the 1st this year because we always have it the Saturday after Christmas, and this year it just happens to be on the 1st. So this has been this way for years. Mary decided years ago that we wanted to do it like this because as families expand, like we talked about yesterday, they need to be with their parents and their grandparents. So we have it after Christmas for that reason, so people won't have to choose between coming to our Christmas or going to their immediate family Christmas. And everybody always knows when it's going to be. Nobody has to ask when is it going to be or you know, anything like that. Okay, let's get the fog off of my glasses. And they're not done. Let me just check, but I don't think they are. No, they're not done. they're getting done though. It's not going to take much longer for them. And I could have probably put a little bit less in those, in that first pan. I'm going to set the clock for 3 minutes, the timer. And some of y'all heard me talking yesterday. I'm not going to move from here because I need to check these again in a couple of minutes. But y'all heard me talking about doing, oh goodness, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, that's what happens when you get old. This is from somebody that has remembered for everybody forever, for as long as I can live. I've always had an excellent memory. And when I first started realizing I didn't remember like I used to, I still have a good memory. But I realized, you know, that's just part of the aging process, and I'm not gonna fret over it, and I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. So for those of you who are getting old, or maybe you're getting older, and this starts happening too, it happens to everybody once they start aging. So don't fret about it. I miss my sister today. I always miss her when she's not here, but sometimes you know you have to do something, and we just decided, you know, that she needs to rest. So which is very hard for her to do. Y'all know that. She wants to be in the middle of everything, and we love her being in the middle of everything, but she just needed to rest today. This week she actually needs to rest for several days to get over her working so hard the last few days. We're doing a white elephant at Mary's again this year, like we usually do, and Mary and I are providing the gifts for that. And then we buy for the little kids, the ones that want to. We don't buy for adults because don't any of us need anything. We've got everything we need. It's just, you know, we just don't do it. We just don't. And we say every year we're not, but we told everybody this year, do not buy adult gifts, or gifts for grown-ups, I should say. That sounds better. So I don't want somebody making something out of what I just said. But we don't buy gifts for grown-ups. We just buy them for the little kids. And we have kids that range in age from let's see, October, November, from a little over 2 months to all the way up to almost 18. So we have several little kiddos that we buy for. And we're going to have a big crowd. Now, not everybody's going to get to be there, and we're certainly going to miss the ones that aren't, but we're going to enjoy the ones that do get to be there. Okay, Robin, can you talk about the vanilla paste and where you get it and what you use it for? I got it at TJ Maxx. I think you can buy it at Michael's. It will be in a different container, and I don't know if I can get it out of the cabinet here without too much trouble. Oh, I can. Here it is. Okay. Let me check my little cakes. But this is what I used here. It's a little flat thing, and you can tell it's liquid, but it's very, very strong. Now, when I use vanilla, I use Pepper Chef because that's what I use, unless I'm using clear. If I use clear, I either use Wilton or Watkins. Okay, I got to check my little cakes here. Ouch. My hands always gravitate to that. These are done. Okay, so I don't like leaving cakes in the pan but about 10 minutes. So you can tell that these are done here. So these are my little individual ones, and I'm hoping that I can get them out without a whole lot of trouble because I got a little bit more dough in them than I should have. And then these here are going to need to cook just a little bit more. I'll set the timer for probably about 4 minutes. You don't ever want to over bake something like this because it will be dry and crumbly. Now, you can always use a simple syrup to help if something is dry, and even if it's not dry, simple syrup is really good to put on your cakes, layer cakes, or any kind of cakes that you're cooking. Let's see if anybody else has asked anything. Okay, let's see here if I see anyone. Thank you about the apron. Yeah, white elephant gifts are fun. They are. I got something that I won't show it to you online because we got Carla's watching. I don't want her to see it, but I got one thing that I'm putting in the white elephants that is going to be a really neat gift for somebody, and hopefully one of the nanas will get this because it's kind of geared toward a nana. So hopefully one of the nanas will get it. Not that one of the guys couldn't do it too, but it's just kind of geared toward a woman. So okay, the winds are getting stronger in East Texas. I haven't noticed any, and she mentioned the breakup on the internet. I haven't noticed a breakup on here. Now, granted, I'm not looking at the screen the entire time, so some of you may have, I don't know. But, yeah, Mary was tired. She is tired. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is the 5 1/4 pot that goes with the set. I didn't want to make the 9-quart pot, so I just used that to make it. Okay, so somebody said that it could be found at Walmart. Now, you can find that in the bacon aisle. If you do, it's not going to be in a little flat container like that. If they have it at Walmart, it's going to be in like a tall bottle, kind of looks like the vanilla bottle, and it will say vanilla bean paste. Let's see, and there's somebody else that says the vanilla bean cake in the cake supply section, cheaper than Hobby Lobby. Seems like it's about $20 maybe at Michael's. I paid $12.99 for this. I believe it was $12.99. Well, the tag's on it, but I look for discount. You know, shop there because you can get discounts. Where do you buy Watkins Clear Vanilla? Some stores have it. Walmart used to carry Watkins, but I haven't seen it there in a while. I know you could probably find a local dealer. We have a retail establishment between here and Marshall that carries Watkins products, and we actually got some Watkins at the Henderson Syrup Festival a few weeks ago when we all went, and that's where Mary and I bought several bottles of the Watkins. Let's see here. Where did I get my pot? The pot is Pampered Chef. It goes with the basic set. And happy early birthday to everybody that's got birthdays, or happy birthday to everybody that's got birthdays. Okay, you only have one little one to buy for. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm trying to read these and see if there are any questions. Thank you. I got this over it, and you know the camera's backwards, so it's actually the lights and stuff are on. It looks like it's turned around, but it's because the camera's facing me that's got the lights and stuff. You would see them on the back. I got this at the general store in Jefferson. And I meant to put it on before I started, and I forgot. So, okay. Yeah, if you use earbuds, the volume is louder. It absolutely is. Okay, let me check these and see what these look like. I believe these are done. They are. Whoops. Touch the floor, so y'all know when I touch the floor, I need to get my hands cleaned again. Okay, I just want to make sure, yeah, that's done. So I'm going to move the camera over here, bring these over here, and put them on a plate and put the glaze on them. And hopefully that's not gonna... Oh, we're doing good. We're under an hour. Or at least right now we are. We may not be when I get through. Let me get that fixed there. These should just pop right out. Y'all see all I did, well of course I sprayed these with my own. I didn't use my Crisco like I normally do. But I'm going to see if I can get these out and hope and pray that I can without any problem. I got a bunch of stuff here that I didn't have time to do something with. So, give me just 1 second. I'm going to grab this, and I will be right back. It's almost impossible to have everything out that you need because of space. So, you know, I have out what I think I need, and sorry about Carla about leaving the camera. As hard as you try, sometimes it's just not possible. So, these are professional trays that I've had for a long time. I bought when I first started baking these white trays. I have a whole bunch of them. And I just have a rack there that I'm gonna see if I can get these turned off on. Okay, they came out. All right. Now, if you've had your little cakes out for a while and they have had a chance to dry and get cold, you can, one little trick you can do is use a cake tester. This is our tester that's got the cake release on the end. You can use this to put little holes in it, and you won't see them because it's a real fine cake tester, and put your glaze on it. Most of the time, if you take them out of the oven and they're still warm, you're not going to need to do that. You can just pour the glaze on them. But I'm going to, yeah, I think I'm going to leave them turned like this. And I'm really anxious to see what these taste like, because like I said, it's been probably 20 years since I made these, and I want to see if they're as good as what I think they would be. I got my pastry brush here. I'm just gonna give this a quick stir. Now keep in mind, remember that this is a glaze, so it doesn't need to be thick. And also, I want to remind you all again, I told y'all I would tell y'all before I finish the video, if you're looking for recipes, now these won't be posted until, if Linda has time later today. If she doesn't, little Linda, if she doesn't, she'll get them on as soon as she can for our members. But if you want our recipes, we have a wonderful website. It's www.peakymallskitchen.com. You join our membership. It's a small fee of $5.99 a month, and plus whatever taxes in your area. That's where the recipes are. If you are a member and you want the recipes, click on the picture or the title, and it will bring the recipe up. There is a print icon on it, so you can print the recipe and keep in your recipe file. And we leave the recipes on there probably about 3 months. All the recipes that we put on there since October the 1st are still on there. And we think that we'll probably leave them on there probably at least 3 months. So I'm going to show you what these look like glazed. And I'm just going to put, you know, pretty generous amount on here. Mike really liked that cherry nut cake yesterday. He said that was one of his favorite cakes that I ever make, because you might think that it was really, really sweet because of that icing, but it really was not a real sweet cake. And although I like things sweet, not everybody does. So it would be a really good cake for someone that wanted something that wasn't extremely sweet. Or at least it wasn't to Mike's taste. And Mike he's a pretty good judge of my baked goods. In fact, I always value his opinion, because he will tell you if he likes it or not. And I always ask him, what scores he going to give it from 1 to 10. And if he gives something I make a high score, you know it's good. Okay, so that was just enough to do these 8 little cakes, or if you were doing the loaf cake, cooking it in the loaf pan, it would be plenty to go on that. So I'm going to show y'all this. They're beautiful. And then I'm going to move the, well, I guess I can bring the pot over here instead of moving the camera again to show y'all how much broth that the noodles have absorbed. And one thing about this pot here, you can pick this hot pot up of handles. I love that feature. It's just something that you don't see in a lot of cookware. So I'll show you what these look like. I guess I should get a bowl and take a bowl up so you could see. And I will add some more broth to this. That was a lot of noodles. But I want to show y'all what this looks like. Just taking it up like this. I like a lot of broth in mine. Doesn't that look delicious? So I will be adding some more broth to that and putting it back over there and keeping it on warm for a couple of minutes so the broth can go in there. So let me see if there are any questions that anyone asked that I didn't. Sometimes when you move the camera and it, for some reason, it doesn't catch up with what I'm talking about, I know that's kind of, it's funny in one way. It's kind of like you're watching a silent movie and it doesn't match. But in another way, it's kind of irritating. So that's probably why that happened, is because I moved the camera. Okay. Yes, we absolutely miss Mary. Thank you. And the voice you should be able to hear. I would think so. No one's told me you couldn't, other than I just read that one, the voice was off, but it's not showing that anything's coming. Mama's book is finished. We are in the process of proofreading it and adding like a little closure to the end of it, and then getting it to the printers. We hope that it's available in our store, on our website. We hope it's available as soon in the new year, and it may be February, it may be March, but we're hoping that it's available very soon in the new year, and we'll make an announcement as soon as it is ready. And we are very excited and very happy to get her story printed. We think that it's going to reach a lot of hands. It's going to touch a lot of people. Okay, let's see here. If there's anything else anybody's asked. The drawings on the other page will be this evening, so you have a little bit of time left for that, for me and for Mary. And if you need links, let us know and we'll get them to you. And let's see. For all our new people that are following us, thank you very much. Make sure you're on this page where if you're on a page on Facebook where you had to join a Facebook group, you're on the wrong page. So if you belong to a Facebook group that says Pinky Malls, it would be very, very helpful to us if you would leave that group. It's people that take our videos and put them on their page, and it's us, but they're responding and commenting like they are us. So our Facebook, Pinky Malls Facebook page is public. It's always been public. If you go to our website, you're not sure where to go to on our Facebook page, go to www.pinkymallskitchen.com. Scroll down, there's social media icons, and if you click on the little blue square with the F in the middle, that will take you straight to our Facebook page. You will never have to doubt if you're on the right page or not. We also have an Instagram and a YouTube button there too to go to our accounts there. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you for your patience and thank you for hanging with me. Be sure to count your blessings. I know everybody is out and about. They're busy at home, so we appreciate you taking the time to watch us. And be sure to be kind and be nice to someone, and not just people you know and people that you love, because it's easy to be nice to people that you love and that love you back. Sometimes we just need to be nice to people that maybe is a stranger. So thank you again. Continue prayers for all the people that were affected by the tornadoes and the storms, and prayers for safety for this storm that's going to be coming through and across our nation. So we love y'all. Say a prayer for Mary, and we will see y'all again tomorrow live at 10 o'clock Central Time right here on this station. Bye-bye.